Hello there. Welcome to Dan talking about events and lists and stuff, and just the general weekly breakdown type stuff. Right, let's do any event. I did do one last week, so we just need to look at last weekend, really, don't we? It's just turned cold here. It's properly cold here now. It's like minus something outside. It's nice and crisp. So out comes the old jumper. Um, right. Let's do some comments. That's Luna. Hobby chess battles last Saturday. I think you'll enjoy it. Well, let's do that first. Uh, Audience requests come first, don't they? Hobby. Oh, bloody hell! Is it not on here? What was the other one? New recruit. And then there was. I don't want to look in my browser history. Actually, no, I don't look at anything dodgy on this PC, do I? No, no. That's on the old Tor browser on the phone. Um, what the hell's the other one? The other tournament software thingy? I can't remember. It'll come to me. Warhammer the Old World tournaments, closed tournaments from last weekend. Is it there? No. Right. What the bloody hell was the other one? It was actually quite a bit better than BCP, wasn't it? Oh, hold on. When was that posted? 4 days ago. Oh, last Saturday. Hobby chest, but now hold on. That could have been the previous weekend, couldn't it? But I should have covered it last weekend because I presume Luna won because she tends to. Still no. Does it find on page? Yeah, it does do that. Weird. Okay, well, I'll come back to that one because I can't seem to. Let's just quickly go for the weekend before. Is this doing? This is doing that. Yeah, hobby chest. This is Old World, isn't it? No, this seems to be. Oh, you absolute lemon! You absolute lemon! I forgot to put Old World. Oh, dearie me. That's a more reasonable amount, isn't it? Right, let's try hobby. Oops. Hobby chest battles. That's on the 9th. Orcs. Bloody hell. Not even Bretonians. Wow, let's have a look at that list then. What's she gone with? Black Orc Warboss with an standard Orc Warboss. Warball. That's interesting. Big boss with a war boar. Is there a big unit of boar boys with big uns? The thinking orcs that. Nice. Standard bearer, big red goody flag. Nice. So she's got 8 orc boys with 2 bosses in, so that's going to be a fucking hammer. That's going to hit hard. There's a wyvern, there's a dragon. Spider banner, yeah. So that there's absolute. So these have got poison attacks. The spider banner increases the poison thing. So I think they've all got. Don't open there. Did I? Warham's books. Right. I think evils. Here's the evils. Right, I need to find orcs. They're first, aren't they? as is right, because they're always the first lump of bad guys that appear over the horizon. Right, so we've got... Now, is it... What I'm checking... well, I'm stuttering and stumbling around linguistically, but anyway, what I'm checking is that the keyword poisoned attacks applies to... Have I just gone over it a few times? Applies to... Aha, Spideridders. Poison attacks, yeah. So it applies to everything. So you've got... so anyway, the spider banner means you get poison attacks on a 5. So they've got short bows, which have poisoned attacks. You can do... Yep. So, got Spider Rider. Is there a goblin? No, that's on a giant wolf. Okay, so that's not to go with that. But anyway, 24 of them. They are... What? They are light cavalry. So they get a free pivot at open order. Yeah. They get fast cav, so they can march and get a free pivot, which is pretty cool. They do have impetuous, but you could stick that Black Orc War Boss near them and negate that. Lots and lots of poison attacks. So short bows, I don't think they have volley fire, do they? So we've got some short bows without volley fire. That's quite a lot of... Yeah, it's quite a lot of poisoned attacks, isn't it? That's basically 6 auto wounds every shooting phase. And then in combat, they're going to be doing quite a lot of poisoned attacks. Some Black Orcs, some 10 Goblin Mob. I wonder what that's for. Just a little mob. Is it literally, I had 40 points spare or whatever? And then an Arachnarok with a Venom Surge. You don't actually see that many Arachnaroks. I don't know why, because I don't think they're terrible. Yeah, if you just have a look at them. I mean, it's toughness 6, 7 wounds, so pretty, slightly more survivable. It's got an armor value of 4 up, so it's way more survivable actually than a giant. They've got, 6 attacks. Everything's poisoned. It's got D6 stomps, which is again where most of your damage is going to come from, realistically. It doesn't have leadership 10 like a giant does, but it does have swift stride, which is unusual for something so big. It causes terror. It's got this howder thing, and it's basically got, now, did she give it a spider silk lobber? No, she didn't. So you can give it basically a stone thrower for an extra 35 points, which arguably is probably worth it. Is it? Because you can still move 7 inches and use the stone thrower. I'm not sure whether that is worth it, to be honest. Because you're going to get like two shots a game with it, maybe. So that's probably not worth it actually on balance. But yeah, it does have this Venom Surge thing. It gets 1 attack, it strikes first, multiple wounds, D6. I don't know why this has poison attacks, because it's already got poison attacks for everything, and I don't think you need to add that. But maybe they're just making it clear. But yeah, it has only got hand weapons, so no AP on its normal attacks, which I think is a bit naff, but whatever. It's pretty good for 310 points. I don't think it's terrible. And then haven't they all got like short bows? Yeah, so they've all got bows, all of which have poison attacks, obviously. So it's pretty good. Yeah, 310 points is quite a lot though for that. But anyway, yeah, Luna, how did the old Ragnarok get on? Was it useful or not? That boy's useful. We know that. These two in that is going to slap hard. This, I don't think is as good as 100 goblins. But 24 of them on the table, that's going to look like a serious unit for serious people. Because it's it's 24 of them basically. So, yeah, pretty good. I like all the troll hide trousers. Yeah, and 24 of them. Is that a line hammer sort of thing? Do you have them like all in like a 24 Garbo line? Because you need to get all of them shooting really. Because a 5 up you get a third, so that's basically 8. If you're able to shoot with all of those in a turn, you averaging around about 8 poison attacks a turn. So that is a unit that can get around the table quite quickly and also can take out a giant a turn and also can do that in combat as well. So even standing and shooting with this Goblin Spider Rider mob, yeah, you are going to do that line hammer, aren't you? Oh, that's nasty. Because even standing and shooting, like a giant charging into that, or even an Ragnarok charging into that, it's probably going to die on the charge. So it's probably going to die before it even gets in. So that's filthy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and you just Blackhawk Warboss can just kind of stick around that. So essentially, you've got this is your main threat, and your opponent's got to deal with that before it can deal with anything else. Um, because this is going to cause a lot of damage. The only thing that the poison doesn't really work massively against is stuff with lots of armor. So, for instance, if I were coming up against this with my chaos, and if I'd bothered to take my chosen knights, which I tend not to nowadays, because one failed armor save is a lot of points dead. But anyway, I'd definitely pit my chosen knights up against this any day of the week because I'm saving on twos re-rolling ones. So like, yeah, good luck. You might have got like 8, 9. You might have made me make 8 or 9 saves, but I'm going to save all of them like every day of the week. Well, not every day. Odd occasions it might not work, but yeah, that's it. That is a cool list, and it's nice to see you branching out into other things than Brutonians. You've gone for their traditional enemy from the Massif Orcar, I see, the spidery stuff. I have also tried to send you a message on Insta, but so yeah, if you could check that and get back to me, that'd be great. Cool. Done. Cool. I do tend to reply to stuff. These are just these are just the things I haven't yet replied to because I thought it'd be. Why is that there? I thought it'd be useful to have a look at. Doom Wheels. That rat bastard says he loves Doom Wheels, but they're an incredibly fragile, large target, and that makes them terrible. He agrees with my interpretation of the rules, but they don't die. The only way I found was to target saturate with 2 Doom Wheels, a Hell Pit, and a Bell. But getting pushed to take a 210-point worst giant spawn really sucks. Yeah, I agree, actually. This is a good comment. I think the problem is that Skaven are just in a tough place all round, so even the good options aren't that good. um, but, like, I think Hell Pit Abominations versus a giant spawn. Giant spawn wins hands down. Mainly because it's got toughness 6 and 6 wounds, and the Nurgle one you can give regen 5 up to, which I think is probably. I do like the Swift Stride and the Strike First of the Slanesh one, but I think the 5 up, having played it a few times now, I think the 5 up regen is well worth it, considering the model. And you kind of want it to strike last almost because the attack that the giant chaos spawn has that is a strikes last thing, you want that one to go off, so you want that one to cause some wounds because that's the one that regens, that heals a wound. So you kind of don't want strike first because with strike first you tend to just kill everything, which is a nice problem to have. It's not a problem that the Hell Pit has though, and I think that's a bit of an issue really. I don't know how many points they've assigned to this. So when it dies, if you roll a 6, it comes back to life with D3 wounds. That's which is great, but like unlikely. I mean, it does have AP1 and Armor Bane 1 and magical attacks, which is, you know, pretty good. It's got the random movement thing of 3d6, which, you know, if you roll a 15, that's an awful lot. It's got random attacks, like the giant spawn. In fact, offensively, it pretty much is the giant spawn, isn't it? That's a really good comparison, actually. Yeah, and it's unbreakable, abominable attacks. It can do these two things, these two weird attacks as well. So it can just do D3. It needs to roll to hit, but then if it hits, it does D3 wounds with no saves against a single enemy model in base contact, which is really useful for like picking out single characters. Like if there's a wizard in the front ranks of the opponent's unit, you can just eat it, which is cool. I'd have given it, and this model regenerates a wound. Or heals a wound, sorry. And this Avalanche of Flesh is pretty good. But these are instead of normal attacks. And then you've only got D3 plus 1 stomps instead of like D6, which is pretty typical for large monsters. So don't know why the fewer stomps. Normally if you have fewer stomps, you have impact hits as well. But there's no impact hits. So that's a bit weird. Yeah, it is just... there's a lot of compromise in a Hell Pit. But you kind of need one. Because a Hell Pit and 2 Doom Wheels, that's, you know... that's 500 point of rare, and that's kind of your go-to with rare stuff. I don't think the bell's worth it though at the moment. I don't think the bell's worth it. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that at some point. My first event in December. I'll probably do that video next week. Right, let's have a look at some lists. Let's have a look at some tournaments. So... here we go. Saffron. Oh no, I've done that one, haven't I? Oh yeah, I need to change the date because I was looking for Luna's thing, wasn't I? There we go. Boom. What happened last weekend? Torneo, the Old World, Bermeo. Battle by the Bridge in Kingston upon Hull. I was playing rugby at the weekend. We had a great game. Like, I didn't. The team did. My game was... I made a few little annoying errors, but whatever. Oh, there was another square-based tournament. Well done, Rob, for putting that on. I really should get down to... oh, there was quite a few little ones over the weekend. There's quite a few little ones over the weekend. Cool. That's actually quite a lot, isn't it? And here we go. So, Panu Mesa managed to win with Ogre Kingdoms. Raul Campo with VCs. And Miguel Vicario with Warriors of Chaos came third in this little 10-man tournament, which took place in Bermeo. Wherever that is. Where is that? Oh, that looks nice. Everywhere in Spain looks nice, though, doesn't it? Somewhere here. Somewhere here, some Warhammer happened last weekend. Is that north? Yeah. Milbow. Ah, okay. Yeah. Cool. So, let's go with third. So, this is 2,000 points. Chaos Lord, Dragon, Nurgle, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Standard. Marauders, Warriors. Chimera, rubbish. Dragon unit of 3, and another Warpfire Dragon. So, yeah, okay. It's just, where's he spent his points? There's a very expensive Chaos Lord, and then only a level 2 Wizard. So, I think if the tournament was bigger, he probably wouldn't have ended up third. Well, I mean, sorry, I'm commenting on player skill. I shouldn't do that. I don't know Senor Vicario at all, so he could be an absolute genius. However, this list doesn't look massively competitive. Yeah, he's gone Slanesh with this stuff to give the extra initiative. Doesn't seem to have gone with flails, but I presume he did because like it's got a shield, so I don't know. Maybe he's not gone with flails, which is interesting because flails make them amazing. Without flails, they're a bit trashy. So, interesting list. Coming in second, VC's Strigoi. Don't see that very often. Sword of Kings is nasty. A lot of damage coming out of that. It does like Killing Blow on a 5 or something. And he's got lots of attacks. Vampire Count, Zombie Dragon, Ogre Blade. That's we're seeing that quite a lot. That build. It's quite standard, or becoming standard. Got a White Lord with the BSB, so presumably he's got some he's got some Graveguard there with a Drakenhof banner, and that'll have the standard of Hellish Vigor in there. So that's going to be basically his big tank that's going to sit in the middle of the table. And then he's not going to... I mean, you need a Necromancer, really, to sit behind it and keep resurrecting them, to be honest. But this is not on a mount, is it, the Strigoi Ghoul King? So is it going to go... It's going to go in these Crypt Ghouls, isn't it, I guess? They're going to be the delivery mechanism for the Ghoul King. Interesting. And then we've got some dire walls to hop about and be annoying, some Fellbats and a Terrorgeist, and some Vargeists. Interesting. So he's got the Terrorgeist, so he's only got one Scream as well, so this is a very nice list. Well done, Raoul. Well done. And then Panu Mesa. Ogre Kingdoms managed to win. He's got a Slaughtermaster level 4 wizard. It's a very good level 4 wizard, to be honest, because it's quite big and it can do stuff in combat. And I always give it the little cauldron thing because it's cool, and it gives you impact hits, and it can give you regen 5 up for free, which is pretty good. He's got a couple of Saber Tusks in Vanguard to just be a bit annoying. He's got some Iron Guts because they've got great weapons basically and heavy armor. They're a bit better version. He's got a little unit of Bulls. Not sure there's much point to them, but anyway, he's got a little unit of Bulls. And he's gone for 2 cannons, a big block of Man-Eaters with poison attacks. Now they've got a lot of attacks, so they'll get utility out of that. Then he's got 3 single Gorges, and Gorges again are, I think, quite good. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good list actually for ogres, and I like the fact he's gone light on characters, which just goes to show you don't need to spend half your points on characters to win games. Cool, so that's nice. Then the Warhammer the Old World Battle by the Bridge, hosted by Hull's Angels. So well done to Alexander Wales, James Mackenzie, who's obviously a home player, with an Empire list coming second, so that's noteworthy, and Chris Taylor with his Orcs and Goblins. So Alexander, what did you bring? You brought a Forest Dragon, Ogre Blade. Yeah, that's fair. There's something missing. Like, I quite like Merkiel's Locus on this guy, but then I guess that would negate the Ogre Blades a little bit. So, pardon me, coming down with a cold. All right, then we've got a level 4 wizard with the traditional stuff, and a level 2 wizard with a Lore Familiar. Good lord. Obviously something just caught in my nose in the wrong place. Oh, right. I think that's it. Then we've got some Glade Riders. I've got a Glade Guard. Some Deepwood Scouts. Sisters of the Thorn. Only 1 unit. Typically you tend to see like 2 or 3 units of that. So, yeah. Model availability problem though. In that, like, even on eBay, Sisters of the Thorn are ruinously expensive. He's got a Treeman. Treeman are combat versions. The Treeman Wizard is not that good in combat. Then we've got a Great Eagle to just sort of hunt down some war machines, presumably. Yeah, so this is not... what have we gone for? Hagbane Tips, Yeah, so you got Hagbane tips, so these are going to kick out a load of poison attacks. These can all focus fire on whatever this is cast Plague of Rust on. Although you do have 2 outlets for Plague of Rust here. Both... No, you don't actually, because these are both battle magic. So... Presumably, these 2 spell weaver slash singers are going to be casting fire column thingies to move around and, you know, do a lot of damage. Nice, good list. Jimmy Mack, Lector. I don't think he's any good. Obviously, he disagrees because he's gone for it as the general. Wow. Then we've got level 4 wizard on a Pegasus with a dragon slaying sword and illusion to do 2d6 blah blah blah. So illusion, there's a spell called Spectral Doppelganger, which allows you to do 2d6 hits using any weapon that the Wizard Lord has. We've got Dragon Slaying Sword, which gives him Monster Slayer. Pegasus makes it quick. So this can quickly charge into a monster and manoeuvrable, actually. So we can quickly charge into like a dragon, cast this assailment spell that will give it 2d6 hits, and hopefully one of those 2d6 hits rolls a 6 to wound, and then insta-kills the monster. So that's what that's trying to do. Then we've got Priest of Ulrich, which is just on a Barded Warhorse. These are actually a really good force multiplier to go into units of like Empire Knights, for instance, because they buff them up quite nicely. Then we've gone for essentially some stuff in core. This I like. This is smart. Taking small little units just to sort of get in the way and allow your war machines to do a bit more work. There's no Hellblaster, but we've got a steam tank, which is sensible, and a couple of mortars. A great cannon here. You only actually need like 1 or 2 of these. I'm surprised there's no engineer, but presumably just couldn't quite fit it in with the points. Some Demigriff Knights as well. So there's a lot of little units that all do their own individual jobs. And this, I think, will be, apart from this Wizard Lord being like a Dragon Slayer, this is kind of like a chip damage army, isn't it? It kind of just like chips away at your opponent and just gradually wears them down bit by bit by bit by bit by bit, and then wins. Like, it's attritional. It's attritional is the word. Right, and then Chris Taylor managed to win with Orcs and Goblins. We've got Night Goblin. Hold on, how many Fanatics we got? Oh, he's done it as well. Big block of Night Goblins, Spider Banner, tons of poison attacks. Ooh, that's horrible. Horrible, horrible, man. 2 Doom Divers, 3 Bolt Throwers, and a Rock Lobber. This is a nasty, nasty list. Oh, Chris, you need to take this to a much bigger event. Like, this will do some work. Yeah. How big was the event? Yeah, 14. Yeah, if you took this to, like, an 80-player event, like, this would do some work. This is a nice list. Very good. Very good. And painting 91 Night Goblins is no mean feat, because they are so boring to paint. So, well done. Well done. Right. Obvious winner there. Cool. Right. Metropolis Centre. Isn't that in Spain? Yeah, it is in Spain. Yeah. Madrid. I love looking at like overhead maps of Madrid because this is such a nice way of organising a city, and like these like blocks like this with like a central courtyard in in the like, that's a bit of a mess, but actually architecturally of like a city plan. I like city skylines, so I love looking at like layouts of cities, how like people have organised it. Oh, I've forgotten what I'm looking at. Oh, it's in here. Metropolis Centre trading card shop. And then, actually from a street design perspective, although it's like quite enclosed, you've still got some trees in the pavements, which are like well kept. The road's nice. There's plenty of parking. You've got a lovely little view of the hill over there. So even though it's all like closed in and intimate, it doesn't feel like oppressive. I love Madrid's, like, there's a lot of really nice city design in in Spain in general. They're good city planners in Spain. And there's the shop. Oh, and there's some bloke looking out at the Google car, taking a photo. Right. I wonder if that was Alex. Dwarves came third, which is a nice change. Cresta El Payaso took Orcs and Goblins. Don't know why that's not coming through. And then we've got a Troll Horde winning, so that's cool. Right, so Dwarves coming third. Anvil, nice. Is it a Royal? No, because they've started to. It's just a standard one. So we got. Best Coast Pairings have started to list sub factions. Anywho, so we got an Anvil. Just standard Anvil, no upgrades. You know, you can give them like runic upgrades, which makes them so much better. King. Shield Bearers. Oh, is that one the toughness 10 one? I think. Rune of Passage, Rune of Warding. Yep. Maybe. Can't remember. Then we've got a Thane, BSB. Stromley Redbeard is unusual. And then he's got a handgun with Rune of 2 shots that do D3 hits each, and accuracy is move and shoot and stuff. Then we've got some Warriors, Rangers. Nice. Good selection for core there. They've got all the upgrades. Oh no, is that just unit options? Has he not taken them? I don't know. And then we've got a couple of gyrocopters, a dwarf cart to make dwarves quicker. Yeah, they will be drilled, won't they? Because and he's got some iron drakes because they're the money in dwarves, I think. And then we've got an organ gun because organ guns are really good and they do a different job to iron drakes. So you kind of need both, but you do need a good chunk of iron drakes to be competitive, in my opinion. And then we've got a dwarf cart to make. So basically, you've got an anvil there that can make a unit move in twice. So essentially, with the cart, you can make these essentially movement 4. You can put them in a marching column so that they can go forward 12. Probably this one, I'd imagine. So they can go forward 12. You can then use the anvil to make them move again, and use drilled to put them into normal. So you can essentially ping this unit 20 inches up the table on turn 1, which makes you super manoeuvrable and gives you. He's got 2 units, so you can do that again, and he's got options. So I guess like the Thane and the King go in one of these units. Probably this one, the 16. So then it makes it an 18. So you can have a 3x6, and then that turns into a 6x3. And then these are like a 5x3. The other units are 5x3 and can turn into a 3x5. So I guess that's the way round it is. And then we've got Iron Drakes to just like protect flanks, because even if you charge them, they can stand and shoot with pretty much no penalty. So charging Iron Drakes, even with like super heavy cavalry, is not a really enticing proposition. So these can protect flanks, and if your opponent's not going around the flanks, and these gyrocopters can just be a pain in the arse and hunt war machines and stuff like that. So yeah, very good list. Well done, Crispo. Cresta El Payaso. I don't know what that means. El Grito de Runch, apparently. So we've got a Black Hawk Warbus. You've got the standard Black Hawk Warbus. Or not quite standard, it's got a Grizzly Trophy Rack. And we've got a level 4 Goblin Odd Knob. We've got some Night Goblin bosses. How many Night Goblins we got? We've got 40 with a Spider Banner and 30 with a War Banner. These have got hand weapon and shield. Okay, cool. But yeah, you're gonna see this quite a lot, I think. Cheap Night Goblins with the Spider Banner. Couple of Doom Divers because they're great. Couple of Manga Squigs because actually they're pretty good too for the points. I always thought there was something deficient about them, but I'm coming now. Now I've played with the Giant Spawn quite a bit. I think actually the 3d16 move is massive, and I think the fact that you don't have to move it, which some people assumed you did. you can move up to that has made them really useful. Yeah. It's a pretty good, pretty decent list. Pretty standard Orc and Goblin sort of mix of bits and bobs, and some Black Orcs, a little unit of Black Orcs just to quell that impetuosity to stop your archers running into combat. So yeah, good list. Well done. Well done for taking it out. And then Alex Kano managed to win the event with this thing, this monstrosity. So we got a big. Are these big uns? Oh, he's got the spider banner in an Orc mob with warbows. So he's gone for the toughness rather than the numbers. Because Orcs are toughness 4, of course. Then we've got a weird knob, big boss. Presumably, those go in. I'm glad that popped up on that screen. And a couple of troll hags. So quite a lot of magic, quite a lot of shooting, and then a big block of, stuff that's quite difficult to shift in the middle. So well done, Alex. Well done for taking it out. Oh, Richie managed to win with a royal clan. Oh, please say it's the double. It's not double anvil. Curse you. I want to see somebody take double anvil. Let's do that one last, actually. Save the best to last. This is qualifier at the old world. So this is a qualifier for a grand clash, presumably. Maybe this is like a qualifier or like a pre-GT sort of event. So we've got Julien Cotreau from Montreal taking Beastman. Is this Canada? Yeah. It's in the French bit of Canada. Cool. So we got Julien Cotreau, David Faust, and Sébastien Marier. Monsieur Cotreau has a great Bray Shaman with all the on foot though. Normally you see that one in the chariot, but that one's on foot here. Got another level 4 on foot. Level 2, tons of magic, all elementalism. Tons and tons and tons of magic. Tons of MSU. Oh, you horrible person. That's going to be such a pain in the arse to chew through. Because there's just loads of annoying little bits that you just got to deal with. Whilst these bloody wizards will be constantly, barraging you with magic stuff. So this is a really nice list. Well, no, it's not. It's a really nasty list, but it's a really clever list. So well done. David Faust has got a standard Black Hawk war boss. We've got level 4 odd knob. Not a common big boss. Zocknock Slicer of Stanties. Skip the Sneaky. One Tooth. An Urgot Beard Burner. Then we've got some fanatics and stuff. 6 orc. He's gone sort of slightly MSU-y, hasn't he? Which is quite interesting for goblins. And then we've got a couple of Doom Divers, a couple of Mangle Squigs. This is a pretty standard rare thing that we're starting to see with Orcs and Goblins, to be fair. So yeah, he's gone sort of MSU-y. He's gone for some chariots as well. That's, quite similar to the previous list, just green instead of brown. And then Sébastien, who managed to win with Tomb Kings. He's got a Tomb King on a dragon. A Royal Herald on foot. A High Priest and a Mortuary Priest. This is quite a good mix of stuff. Presumably there's a big block of Skellies. Yeah, so we've got a big block of Skellies. War Banner is 100% worthwhile for Skellies because it means one fewer dies when they lose combat. Or crumble, sorry. Got some chariots, got some skirmishers. Got 2 units of chariots, 2 small units of chariots. A couple of Tomb Scorpions, some Bow Shabti, and a casket. Pretty good. I'd drop something. I don't know what, but I'd drop something and take a catapult with the casket. Catapult and casket is a really good combo. But to be honest, it's a pretty decent list all round. And we've only just got over the core tax. It's not like you could really drop any of that. So maybe this list is better. I don't know. But anyway, well done, Sebastian. Then we've got Turkey-tastic Throwdown, which was in the States. Turkey-tastic Throwdown is November the 16th the turkey eating weekend in the States? I don't know. 13 players. Jacob Bodmer managed to come third with Lizardman. We've got Tomb Kings in second and Empire winning. Now that's big news. Jacob, what did you bring? In fact, Lizardman being entered at all is big news because they don't see them very often anymore. He's got a Slan which he's given the ethereal thing to because you kind of have to. The problem is, like, a decent magic missile will take it down, and the fact that it's a large target means it's easy to take down. So you don't tend to see Slans very often for that reason. We've got a Stink Priest on a Stegatron with the Engine of the Gods. Yep. Okay, so we've gone for magic and lots of poisoned attacks with the Skink Skirmishers. A couple of smallish units of Saurus and Temple Guard. Now he's taking the Temple Guard because he's taken the Slan, so he can transfer like damage onto the Temple Guard, which is pretty decent. A couple of Bastillodons and an Ancient Stegodon with another engine. So we've got 2 engines. You need 2 engines, but as long as you've got 2 engines on table, wizards within, is it 8 inches of a engine, get +1 to cast. So there's quite a lot of magic damage coming out of these. There's a lot of poison attacks coming out. That's more magic damage. So this is a very shooting heavy army, but it's not massively long range. So it's like a mid-range, actually quite powerful shooting heavy army. Because you think all of these are poison attacks and they're all skirmishers. So like 46, can shoot with poison attacks at a reasonable range with them all having javelins. So that's a lot of poison attacks coming out. That's enough to kill a giant a turn. So, over 240 points. That's pretty decent. Is it enough to kill a giant a turn? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, 46, because that's about 8, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. And then we got all of this to deal with, like the Bastillodon Solar Engine. That's like, what is it? 3d3 Strength 5 AP2, which is pretty good for heavy armor. And then we've got some magic stuff as well, battle magic and elementalism. Yeah, because you can get a. It's not got a lore familiar. Is Plague of Rust elementalism? But yeah, cool. Good list. Excuse me. And then Turkey-tastic Throwdown. We've gone for a Mor Tre Cult, so there's going to be loads of wizards. There is a Tomb Prince in there with the Amulet of the Serpent, which is interesting. We've got lots of MSU-ish. So it's not all MSU. There's some big units of skirmishers, some bow shabti, some horse archers, some more bow shabti, a couple of caskets, lots of necromancy. Yeah, enough to get a few decent leadership debuff. Because you want basically how Tomb Kings Mor Tre Cults tend to work is you have some necromancers that cast like leadership debuffy sort of spells, so you can get somebody's leadership down by 4, I think, with spells. And then the casket casts its magic missile at them, which requires a leadership test. And if you pass the leadership test, it does a little bit like D6 strength 4 hits or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I've got the book here, so I shall tell you in a second. I'll show you. Sorry, D3 strength 3 hits AP1. However, if you fail, it's D6 plus 3 strength 6, multiple wound 2, no armor saves. So this, so you want to get their leadership down. It's a really long range as well, so you can you can put these quite a way back, and they give wizards nearby +1 to cast. So you have 2. So you get 1 with a light of protection, which makes everybody within 18 inches -1 to hit. and gives them a 6-up ward, which is phenomenally good. So, you tend to see either double casket or a casket and a catapult, because a catapult can do a thing which is -1 leadership as well. So I think with the spells and the catapult, you can get them down by like -5. So like your average leadership 8 like unit is now failing that test almost every time. So that's cool. And then the Tomb Prince with the Amulet of the Serpent, that gives a unit poison attacks, so he's going to go in one of these Warbowy sort of units, probably the one at the front, to just like generate some poison attacks. 20 skirmishes, that's 3 auto wounds a turn. I mean, personally, I'd just put them all in one big unit. But I mean, the way that skirmishes rank up and stuff can die quite easily from ranking up, probably. Actually, no, that's sensible. I wouldn't put them all in one unit. No, I agree with you. And then, did Spencer win? He did with Empire. So we've got a captain, a general, an engineer. It's quite difficult to read for some reason. And then we've got some state troops. So we've just about paid the core tax, a couple of units of knights, and a big block of state troops. And then we've got demigriffs, a couple of cannons, a steam tank, and a hellblaster. So this is where the damage comes from. These are sort of MSU-ish, really, aren't they? They're sort of just to get in the way. Demigriffs can punch a bit, but not that much. The captain probably goes in these veteran state troops, and the general he's on an Imperial Griffin, so he's going to be going around probably hunting war machines and small characters and stuff like that. He's not quite good enough to go toe to toe with a dragon, but he's good enough to sort of go around the table, mop up small units, that kind of stuff. And then the engineer hangs out with all of this, belching nonsense and keeps it going. So yeah, good list. Normally you see some Outriders in an Empire list because they are very, very good. You don't need that many though, like 4 or 5 in a list, but they do make quite a bit of a difference. So I'm told. But what do I know? Spencer won, so well done, Spencer. Owl, the Old World. Legends. At Comic Quest. Haven't let me look at the results, so I'm not going to. War in the Old World 3 took place in Northern Ireland. Finton Rogers, AJ Rogers, David Rogers, Wade. Damn it! Why can they all be called Rogers? I don't know why that matters. Anyway, well done, David, and the 2 Rogers. I wonder if they're related or whether or not. I bet they're not, and it's just coincidence. Anyway, so Finton has a Glade Captain. On a Great Stag with BSB and a Great Stag. Interesting choice. You don't tend to see that, but I guess there's a reason. There's a level 4 Spell Weaver and level 4, so quite a lot of magic in this list already. We've got all the Hagbane tips and no sisters. You need some sisters. They are so good. We've got some Wild Riders, and Treeman and some War Dancers. So it's an interesting list, but if you can squeeze some sisters in there, you've got 65 points spare from your core, so you can reduce some of these and maybe a couple of magic items down, and then you got yourself some sisters, or get your 65 points, drop the War Dancers, and then you got some Sisters of the Thorn. But again, it's probably a model availability thing, but they are just really, really good. At pretty much everything apart from like tanking a charge. But then again, they are very good at running away from a charge, so pretty good. But anyway, well done, Finton, for coming 3rd. AJ Rogers has High Elves, so we've got level 4, just a pretty standard level 4 wizard, to be honest, and then a noble, although with all the rules that High Elves get, the level 4 wizards are already very good. Then we've got a noble on a dragon, so no dragon, No dragon in a high elf list that came second, so that's noteworthy. We've got some Leathern Sea Guard and some Silver Helms just to basically pay that core tax. Although I think Illyrian Reavers are rubbish. They are the only fast cav that you've got within the high elves, and you kind of need some fast cav in this game to do fast cavalry things. He does, however, have some dragon princes who do slap pretty hard, and he does have some Phoenix Guard and a Frostheart Phoenix. Frostheart Phoenix, how did that go? If you watch this, how did that go? Please let me know. I think they look rubbish on paper, but you know, I'm prepared to be wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Phoenix Guard, I understand, are very good. So that's there's nothing in here that strikes me out as being like amazing. So I'd just like to know how Razor Standard. Oh, that's actually quite smart, because that gives you Armor Bane 2. So these are going to have a lot of shots and a lot of attacks. So you're probably going to be spiking that Armor Bane 2 quite, you know, with a decent. You're giving yourself lots of opportunities to spike that and get loads of, you know, AP2, Warbow or spear attacks. So that's quite smart. Other than that, there's nothing that kind of stands out at me. Not that I'm saying that's a problem. It might all just be just generally solid and does quite well. David Wade, who, oh hold on, was also high elves. What is it about the Irish and elves? there seems to be an affinity there. So this dude has a dragon, yeah, and then he's got an archmage on foot. That's more standard, and he spent almost all his points on characters, but not all. That's important. He's got some spears, which again is quite interesting. Traditionally, Sea Guard are better, but maybe he didn't have any. Got some Silver Realms. We've got the Reavers, which you know, like I said, are rubbish, but they're the only fast cav you've got. Got some Shadow Warriors, which are pretty good, but only 5 of them. A big block of Phoenix Guard, which are pretty good, and he's got a Line Chariot, which I love the model for, but I think it's pretty terrible on the tabletop, annoyingly. But well done, David, for winning. From Team Exploding Dice. Then we've got Bunker in the Old World 5, which took place somewhere in England. Chelmsford. It's a slightly posh. Is Chelmsford posh? Don't know. I've said that. There's presumably something here. Did it take place in somebody's house? Somebody's got a very big house, or probably, I don't know. Oh, hold on. What's that? No, it's garages, isn't it? Oh, interesting. $16 people turned up to this. Nice. We've got an expeditionary force, list unsubmitted, list unsubmitted, list unsubmitted. Oh, okay. Well, I can't look at that then. And all the, what are all the, oh, he's bloody, I bet that's not even their real names. I don't think I can include that. Okay, bye. List unsubmitted. So this was Grognard Games Old World Tournament November 2024, which took place Illinois. Is IL Illinois? It is Illinois. Char kebabs. Oh, I've had a look at this before. I do like a kebab. Annoyingly, a lot of them have got milk in them. I'm allergic to whey protein. Actually, it's not. It's not. It's not. What's the sugar in milk called? O's. Lactose. It's not a lactose intolerance. Cool. That looks like a decent store. Yeah, but anyway, lots of kebabs have milk powder in for some reason. One thing I have noticed though is that they are starting to put milk in a lot more products nowadays, because in the UK anyway, because of the sugar tax. I think it's because of the sugar tax, because obviously you can put milk in and it makes stuff taste sweeter, but it's not sugar. I mean, it is, but it's not the sugar, you know. that gets taxed. So the sugar tax has basically just been bad for people with milk allergies or problems in the UK. Well done, government, for thinking that through. Anyway, list unsubmitted, list unsubmitted, list unsubmitted. But we do have sort of full names, so I will include it. Any lists? No. So, but well done, Drew, for winning with High Elves, and well done, Alex, for coming second with Tomb Kings, and well done, Jim, for coming third with Britannian Exiles. I would presume that would have a Green Knight and 2 cannons in, but and probably 7 or 8 Pegasus Knights. This one's standard Tomb Kings, so I'd probably guess at like double dragon, big block of archers, with no, it's not Mor Tre Cult, is it? Maybe not a big block of archers. Maybe a big block of archers or a big block of spears. A couple of units of chariots. A couple of team scorpions. Maybe some Boshabti. Maybe the other stuff that we talked about in Rare. And then Drew Wilkins with High Elves. I'd imagine there's a dragon involved. But anyway, well done. That one is doubles. I don't know why I clicked on that. Hobby chat. Oh, we've already looked at Luna's list. George Ivers. What did she lose to? She lost to. I forget which way around this goes. Was it Matthew Pragdat? Yeah, because that was on. No, she won't be on table 1 after losing the first game, would she? That's maybe that's not. I don't know. Oh, she lost to Bretonians. Probably. That's ironic. Right. Anyway. Yeah. He won, didn't he? So he lost his last. Who did he lose to? Did he lose to George? Yeah, he lost to George. So, Luna didn't get to play George, though, did she? No. So George is definitely the winner of this tournament. But anyway, we've had a look at Luna already. So looking at George, Tomb King, blah blah, Herald, Battle Standard Bearer, Tomb King on foot, Talisman Protection. That's interesting. Then we've got the High Priest on the Dragon. Now, I haven't seen that in the list for a while. Not that combination. Necrotect, I like them because they're cheap and they give you hatred. We've got a Mor Tre Priest. It's not a Mor Tre Cult. So we've got a big block of Tomb Guard, a big block of Skeleton Warriors. Nice. Yeah, nice. And then we've got some not Boshabti, and we've got a Casket and a Necrosphinx. So it's not a standard Tomb King army, but it's not far off. But well done, George. Well done, George. And then for winning, and then Matt came with this, which is pretty standard Duke, pretty standard Paladin, Falconhorn on Prophetess. You do see that quite frequently. He doesn't have any Grail Knights, so that's probably a good choice. Because out of all the heroes, the Prophetess is probably the one that's going to live till the end. 10 Pegasus Knights, of course. And then some Cortax stuff. And some Mounted Yeomen, because they're probably the best light cavalry in the game. Weirdly, because of how much they cost and the fact that they do everything. So, yeah, good list. Well done. And well done for beating Luna with her favoured faction. And then finally, we've got finally for Best Coast Parents, we've got Rise of the Chaos Champions, which took place in Nottingham, in a very weird battle bunkery sort of thing with tons of cables everywhere. It's just the right level of ratchet. If you know what I mean. Cool. So, Tom Carley with Wolves of the Sea, proving me wrong, because I think they're awful. But anyway, what's he actually putting in? He's got a Sorcerer Lord. I'm getting defensive now. He's got a Sorcerer Lord, level 4 Wizard. I'm not actually, I don't care. I like being wrong. It means you've learned something. You've got Sorcerer Lord, level 4, Mark of blah blah blah. Yeah. Demonic Mount, Spell Familiar, Infernal Puppet. Spell Familiar, Brazen Collar, which gives it Magic Res 2. So that's going in a unit then, presumably, because Magic Res 2 on a standalone character isn't really that. Well, it could be. I mean, it's a lot of points to. But then I guess like the Sorcerer Lord is pretty much the only like really decent character you have, because you don't get a Chaos Lord, I don't think, in Wars of the Sea. And then we've got, is that a BSB? No, it's so this one's got so this will have a demonic mount. So that doesn't. So this one's going to have a 4-up armor save, 5-up ward, 5-up regen. Enchanting aura, I forget what that does. And a giant blade on a mark of Nurgle. So is that going to go in a unit, or is that like out to hunt like standalone stuff? And this, I think, these two would be quite good against MSUE sort of lists, I guess. Then we've got MSU Berserkers. Oh yeah, Rob does the you're allowed to take 6 of core and 3 of everything else. So we've got MSU Berserkers, all of them ambushers. I guess this is the champion that he'd use for the duels before the game. We've got some Marauder Horse, which are pretty good. And then we've got MSU Warhounds. We've got a load of Skin Wolves. These all slap hard. These can hunt smaller things. And then we've got a couple of gigantic spawns of Nurgle. As I said at the top of the show, I think Nurgle's probably the best out of all of them because of the regen. So this is a really interesting list because he's gone like MSU. Apart from this fairly big block of Skin Wolves here, which will really hit quite hard. Because they do have like movement 7 and swift stride. So the reason that they're basically super heavy cavalry. And I think opponents will be, unless and until they get used to them, I think opponents will be unsighted by the fact that they just look like monsters. They're not. They're super heavy cavalry in terms of how they function on the table. So once you get that into your head, that that's what they are, then anti-cavalry stuff will work against that. So like putting you light cavalry, cannons, etc., etc., etc. Cool. And also flaming attacks, because they can't regen them. Yeah, so that's... I'm pretty down on... Am I down on the Warriors of Chaos stuff because I want it to be better? I probably do. You know, I think I just don't think the sub-factions are massively competitive. Not as competitive as like a normal, sort of a more balanced Chaos list. But he has actually lent into the Walls of the Sea stuff, because he has taken the Berserkers, he has taken the Skin Wolves. He is doing, a proper Walls of the Sea. He is making having a stab, and actually he's spending less points on characters and spending more points on units is pretty smart. I think that's the way you get a better Walls of the Sea list. I have no doubt that Tom Carley is a really good player, because I wouldn't say that's a particularly optimal list, to be honest. But then again, I think if you are going Walls of the Sea, there isn't an optimal list. But I'd be more than happy to be proven wrong. And like as ever, if anybody wants to come on and have a chat about their list and talk about how stuff went and what they learned, I'm more than happy to entertain anybody. Right, Sam Freeston. Came second with High Elves, the Dudley Boys. God, I haven't heard that name for ages. Although I haven't watched any wrestling since I was about 20-something, so over a decade ago now. I understand there's a chap called Roman Reigns, who's basically like The Rock, but hairier, but is like people's champion sort of thing. Anyway, so Sam Freeston. We've got a prince on a dragon. On a dragon? On a dragon. Yeah, a prince on a dragon. Archmage on a dragon? Not on a dragon. But on foot with a silvery one. Yeah, pretty standard. Elementalism, not so standard. Then we've got a mage with Law Familiar and High Magic. What's he want to cast from High Magic? Ethereal spell, probably. It's quite high casting value, though. It does have a power scroll, actually, so you can pretty much guarantee it. So where's that mage going to be put? What unit is it going to be in that you want to turn ethereal? Nothing. maybe the sisters, if they're staring down the barrel of, if cavalry is staring down the barrel at them, maybe you want to guarantee. Can you put the major sisters in the restrict? Oh, maybe not. It's got 4 Tyranno chariots, which I think Tyranno chariots are pretty good. I think all high elf chariots are pretty good. I think the sky cutter thing is the best, hands down. And when high elves come out, I'm definitely 100%, probably maybe going to get oh, for God's sakes, a Laverne style thing. Cool. So this is a interesting list. Again, I wouldn't say it's particularly optimal. There's a lot of annoyance value in this. Tyranno chariot. I mean, have I really underestimated Tyranno chariots? I might have done. I don't think I have. Where's good guys? There they are. Tyranno chariots. There they are. So, movement 9 is good. Swift stride is good on a chariot. With movement 9, it's pretty good. Oh, bugger off AI assistant. Right, you can have 4 in a unit, so he's gone for maximum. D6 impact hits at strength 5, that's pretty good. No AP, but still, 4d6 impact hits. So like 14 at strength 5. Yeah, you're going to be making 10 saves. Is that enough to kill a giant? 14 on average? No, because you get like 2 or 3 wounds. And there's the Lion Chariot, which I just wish they were slightly better. I don't know what I want about them to be better, but I just want them to be slightly better. Maybe no impact hits. Maybe maybe give the War Lion AP somehow. I guess that's what I'd do to make them a bit better. Don't know. But maybe 4d6 impact hits is a lot better than I think. And I guess they've got quick shot, swift stride. Yeah, okay. Maybe I have. And I guess cavalry spears will make them strength 4 in the turn they charge. So they are pretty impactful, but they are flimsy as heck. Like 5 up armor, toughness 4, 4 wounds each. So 16 wounds. To be fair, 16 wounds at toughness 4 and a 5 up save for high elves is pretty robust. So that's probably the best thing in the list, actually. Sisters of Avalon are really, really good. So these bits are really, really good. He's paid his core tax and then spent 1,000 points on characters. So again, I wouldn't say it's massively optimal, but I'd want to know what this is for. What he's really trying to do with the high magic there. Because I think that's. I mean, because this, and also elementalism. Like, elementalism's got Plague of Rust in it, though, hasn't it? So interesting, very interesting. But well done, Sam. And then Richie, for winning a tournament with dwarves, excellent, 100%, 10 out of 10, would recommend. Right, yeah, oh, yeah, okay. Right. I need to go watch the video that he's put out on winning, but I think I know exactly how this works. Yeah. Okay. So you got the Runesmith and the King, which will probably go in this big unit of Longbeards. The King essentially counts as 4, so that'll be 32. Maybe the Runesmith doesn't go in there, because it would annoy me, the fact that it wouldn't rank up evenly. But anyway, this is drilled. This Anvil of Doom. Master Rune of Adamant is toughness 10. that's interesting because you get a +1 toughness rune. I'm sure. Well, Richie's smarter than I am, so I think he's probably done the maths. But I just wanted to check. Where is it? No, it's toughness. Has he gone for? He's not gone for. Unless I've misread the rules, you can save yourself 10 points here because the anvil's toughness 7, and there's the rune of +1 toughness that costs 30 points. Master Rune of Adamant is 100 points for auto toughness 10. You can give yourself +3 toughness for 90 points. Unless, of course, you wanted to use any other armour runes with the Master Rune of Adamant, but you haven't done that. You've gone for the Rune of Cleaving, which I think is like extra AP or something. It's a weapon rune, anyway. Unless I've misread the runic things. Oh, that's in the list with at the top of runes. Yeah, look, I don't know why I'm doing it on the other screen. Talisman. Yeah, Master Rune of Adamant here. +1 Rune of Fortitude for each to a maximum of 10. That's a common rune. So I think you can have 3. More than 3 rooms. Yeah. No. Yeah, doesn't say. Cool, so you can save yourself 10 points there. But yeah, anyway, so the Anvil of Doom, this king, these Longbeards, they're going to go into. He's got Strollaz rune as well, which gives you Vanguard, I think. Rune of Battle and Rune of Courage, and the Elder's got the Rune of Passage, which means they got moved through cover. So basically, this big block of essentially 32 fairly tough dwarves is going to deploy in a marching column, do the thing that I said earlier, and get like 20, but because he's got the Vanguard move, they're going to basically be able to go 24 inches on turn 1. So they're going to be able to make combat on turn 1, which is pretty good. Yeah, we've got the Dwarf Cart. And a Grudge Thrower. Not sure what the Grudge Thrower is for, just to do a bit of chip damage, presumably. And then he's got a massive unit of Iron Drakes, which, like I said, they're the money. Interesting that he's gone for like a big block of 18. I'd be interested to know why. But because of that, I guess it's worth upgrading to the Trollhammer Torpedo and the Cinderblast bombs. He's made them drilled, so yeah. There's not a lot of anti-dragon stuff, though, here, to be fair. No, there's not a lot of anti-dragon stuff here. So, I'd be really interested. What did he play? I mean, it's a 5-game tournament, to be fair. He's played against Sam with the High Elves, so he's played a Dragon-y list there and drawn it. He's then played Kieran, who's got a Necrolith Bone Dragon, but that's not Dragon-y, if that makes sense. It's okay, he's not played against a Chaos or a High Elf Dragon. Well, he has, but he drew that game. I guess this list from Richie, it basically, whatever each individual unit, whatever the 2 big threats target, it dies. So it's a list that kind of overloads the opponent and like deletes stuff. Then he played against Bretonia, which aren't very dragon-y and don't have that many Pegasus Knights, so every time I guess a unit of cavalry comes out to try and outflank the big block of infantry, they get blasted to smithereens by this massive. I'm presuming that that's a line hammery sort of thing. So maybe he has like the anvil on a flank with like the unit, and then like a line hammer sort of effect with the Iron Drakes. So then essentially, if cavalry charge in, he just deletes one of the units, and then he can also cast another bound spell that makes them like 3-up save, re-rolling saves sort of thing. So And then I guess as well, what he's got is he's got 3 runes of spell breaking, which are they? They're talisman runes, aren't they? Spell breaking. It's an auto dispel. So if you get that runesmith up the table with the longbeards, and then of course the grudge thrower just, I guess that can be used to target like enemy war machines, can't it? I guess that's what that could be used for. Yeah, so this is... So then he's played that, and then he's played Dan Broxholm, who has a necromancer on a zombie dragon. So yes, there's a dragon, but it's not like an out-and-out combat dragon. So he doesn't really have to worry about that too much. And a couple of terror guys. So I bet this one was pretty hard, actually. This one will have been pretty hard for him. What did he score against Dan Broxholm? He got a 15. So, actually... And then his last game was against Andy Ransom. Did Andy Ransom do quite well? No. This... Oh, no. I've got to have gone... This is the other order, isn't it? He must have played Sam last. Sam came second. Huh. Iron Drakes. And he's also gone for 18 Iron Drakes. And a load of Rangers. And some Grudge Throwers. And some Gyrocopters. That's really interesting. And Burlock Daminson. Huh. The Dwarven lists... These dwarf lists are really interesting. Where did Andy finish? Where did Andy finish? He finished 9th. Well done, Andy. Very good. Very good work. But it's quite a nice list. Oh, Imps Gaming, they're from Lincoln, which is just down the road from me. Yeah, anyway, that's... Oh, I am massively intrigued. I will watch his video, because I did notice the other day as I was flicking around that he's put one out. Cool. So then we had Shark Games. That was another one on New Recruit, which seems to be struggling to load. Vampire counts. 1 Master Necromancer, 2 Master Necromancer. Both are spell familiars. Sceptre of Denoro, 2 Banshees, 2 Terrorgeists. So 5 Screams. Horrible, horrible, horrible list. Well done. Of course that one. Because it's nasty as hell. Jorge Pena and Docamo, whoever that is. Jorge Pena came second, and he had a Duke with Hippogriff, standard. Quite a lot in core. He's lent into that a bit. It's 5 Pegasus Knights, 7 Grail Knights. So not as nasty as it could be, to be fair. And then we've got Warriors of Chaos coming third. Well done to these 3 chaps. Or chapettes. Chaps, I think they're all chaps, aren't they? Or whatever. Then we've got Nurgle Dragon, Exalted Champion. These are pretty standard. Actually, BSB on a Chariot. No Wizard. Interesting. That's interesting. That's not standard. Paid the core tax. Lots of Forsaken by Slaanesh. Very good. Very good. Chosen Knights. I don't think they're worth the points, because the problem is, like, they're basically like nearly 50 points each on average. So, like, in fact, because the unit's 350 points, so each one actually is like 58 points each, effectively. So, like, you roll a 1 to save, and they just die. He just lost 60 points. That's pretty big. Like, at least with Dragon Ogres, they cost around about the same points, and they're 3 wounds. you know, and they have got a 3-up save because they've got heavy armor and scaly skin too. So they're not as survivable. Well, and the toughness 4, I think. So the same toughness, not as quick, not as impactful, but hand weapons weird. You typically tend to see them great weapons because they've only got initiative 2. But anyway, that's pretty good. And what the bloody hell is the other tournamenty thing? Oh, it was in a comment that somebody made about that far ago. Have you seen oh, what bloody hell was it called? The other one that I thought looked really good, and then I tried to sign up for it and it wouldn't like link up to my PayPal or something, so I didn't. He is gone. Mornfang are absolute monsters. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Yeah, I can't find it. Anyway, there is another bloody tournament thing, but I can't really remember what it is. Oh, this is really annoying me. I hate not being able to remember things. What is it called? I can see it. Oh. It's not that, but Longshanks, that's it. Oh no, there's another one. Stop inventing software. League tournament. Oh. So there's this one. And that was... Oh, that's this weekend. Can you see lists? List hidden. Administrators hidden the rosters. Okay, so I guess Champions gets added to the list as well. Right. Once you get the hang of this one, it works better, I think. Find events. Current events, upcoming events, event history. Right, and then let's see if there was any of these any on this one over the weekend. What we're looking for, 11, 20, no, nothing on Longshanks. So that's it. Cool. Well, this video's nearly been an hour and a half, so hopefully I've gone over everything, and hopefully I've got everything. Now I've just got to spend a few hours updating my data, but yeah. Any comments, questions, thoughts, whatever, put down below in the appropriate boxes. And if you've liked the video, there's a button that will allow you to express yourself. And if you've hated it and you've got through to an hour and a half in, more for you. Yeah, if you've probably got to this point, if you got to this point of the video, you probably should think about subscribing, because all my videos are basically just me nattering to the camera about Warhammer stuff and going through lists. But anyway, well done to all the winners over the weekend. I'll catch you again soon. Toodaloo.